I wanted to just record this quick video to talk about the importance of tracking your advertising spend on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're doing it yourself, and why you need to be doing this. You know, it's impossible to make an educated decision and really know if your marketing is working if you're not doing this. That's just the honest truth. So it's really simple to set up. I think a lot of people don't really know where to start, and that's kind of the issue. I also think many people think that, well, if I'm just spending, $5 a day or $10 a day, do I really need to be tracking everything myself? Like, isn't that just for larger agencies or people that are spending hundreds of dollars every day? And that couldn't be further from the truth. It doesn't matter if you're spending $5 a day or $5,000 a day. If you don't really know what your returns look like at each step of the sales process, then you're never going to know what's ultimately working and whether or not you should invest more money into, let's say, a campaign that is working versus one that isn't working and one that you need to kill off ASAP. And the thing that's sad is so many business owners in this space, they never reach either stage. They don't really know when they should be spending more money or dialing it back and spending less money. So ultimately, what we're going to be looking at is cost per click, cost per lead, cost per landing page view, and a few more things, but ultimately cost per acquisition. So in other words, how much does it cost to acquire a new cleaning client from spending money on ads? I'm going to show you guys how I set everything up, how I track on a day-to-day basis, and how you could replicate this exact same system within the span of a few minutes and have everything neat and tidy so you never have to worry about if you're profitable ever again. All right, so now let's actually set up our own custom tracking sheets within Google Sheets. And as a reference, we're utilizing the Facebook advertising platform to pull data from. However, this concept can really apply to any advertising platform that you're currently utilizing. So if you're doing, whether it's Facebook, Google ads, YouTube, LinkedIn ads, etc., basically the same concept that I'm about to show you, you could utilize for those platforms as well. But if we go back to Google Sheets, as you can see really quick, you'll notice we have a column for the dates, the amount spent, total clicks, cost per click, landing page view, leads, cost per lead, and then we also have three little custom columns. So this is total spend. And this number is going to, change the more numbers we input over here. So as you can see, it's a formula. It's the sum of, all of the values in column B. We also have total leads, which is the sum of, column F, all of the values here for leads. And then average cost per lead, simply this divided by this. All right. So now let's go back into Facebook, and when you guys go into your ads manager, you're going to see their own native tracking, KPI sheet that looks something like this. And you're going to want some more data than this and some fewer things that they give you as a preset. So what you guys can do is you could actually click here and go all the way to the bottom where it says customize columns. And we're going to create one together, guys. So what I want you to do is actually just delete all of these, to be honest. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is add amount spent. You're going to want to definitely track that. Now, the next thing I like to add is clicks. So you're going to do link clicks. This is going to give you the most accurate assessment of how many clicks you got for the day. Then we're also going to do landing page views. So it's going to be the name. I did custom conversions in this case. So I created a custom conversion for a landing page as well as one for the thank you page. And I have names for both of those. Okay, so once you added both of those pages, the last thing that you're going to want to add is frequency. Now this one is optional. However, I do like to keep track of it because if my ad is starting to reach, fatigue as they call it, that means that the same ad is being shown in front of the same people too many times, too frequently. So it's a good thing just to keep an eyeball on, but it's, kind of an advanced thing. But anyways, that's pretty much that. And then you're going to want to check this Save as Preset button. And you're going to do that and simply name it, something that you're going to remember. Now, I already have one saved, so I'm just going to simply open that one up. But it matches everything I just told you. Okay. So now's the fun part. Now is when we actually start pulling this data and putting it into our Google Sheet. And you might be saying, well, what was the point of making a Google Sheets if everything is just already listed in Facebook? And here's the thing, though Facebook does tell you, on a weekly basis or even day-to-day basis on kind of the metrics that we just went over, it doesn't allow you to see everything mapped out, fully in sort of a chronological order. So the benefit of being able to see everything mapped out on a day-to-day basis is now you can notice trends. So for example, if you have a day where the cost per lead was very high, and perhaps this continues for several days, then you'll know, okay, maybe something's wrong with the ad, we got to fix it. As you can see, it rose quite a bit over here, then dropped down, then rose again. So this is very interesting, and it's something that I'm going to be paying attention to, why that's the case. Likewise, let's say your cost per click is very high. Maybe it's low for a few days and then it shoots up for, several dollars. Well, that probably tells me that, again, you need to fix something with the ad. Maybe, the creative is funky or something like that. So that's the benefit of basically doing everything in here. Also, it's just a little bit more neat to kind of track everything and also really just see what your total spend and total leads is as an exact numerical value. Anyways, let's go back here, and then we're going to start over here. So March 8th, we're going to go back to the Facebook platform. Make sure we select March 8th. Got that. Great. And now we're going to simply import this data. So 1584 is the amount that we spent for that day. So we're going to enter in that for amount spent. We got clicks 15. So we're going to do that. Then we got cost per click. That's $1.06. You can enter here. Now landing page view. Let's see. That's this column over here. We got 11. Now leads. Now here's what's interesting. This column represents leads. I don't know why it's blurred out right now. Let me just quickly refresh my page. Okay, there we go. So this column represents leads. And as you can see, Facebook reported 0 leads. Now here's the interesting thing. If we go back to my sheets and we look at March 8th, this is where real data is pulled from. And I already know, as you can see over here, that on March 8th, we actually got 2 leads coming in. So in this case, Facebook was inaccurate. They underreported. So when it comes to leads and perhaps even landing page views, I would really take Facebook's data with a grain of salt and always resort to your actual CRM or whatever software you're using to actually capture leads and refer to that data because it's going to be most accurate. So we have 2 leads here. So we're going to enter that in here for leads for the day. And cost per lead is simply going to be this divided by this. Great. Now let's go to the next day. We're going to do the exact same thing. March 9th. All right, 1448 is the amount that we spent. 15 clicks. Cost per click is 97 cents. Landing page views, we got 12. And then how many leads? So again, I'm going to refer to this sheet over here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, 4 leads. Go back here. 4 leads equals this divided by that. Perfect. Now we got our cost per lead for the day. And then this is really it, guys. You're just going to simply repeat this process. I'm going to do it one more time. 1532 is the amount that we spent. Okay, we got 5 clicks. It's pretty high cost per click. 306. Got 5. How many leads for 310? Just 1. Equals that divided by that. Okay, and as you can see, again, these values are going to update in real time as you add more and more numbers. If I just add a number here, 100, that shot up by 100, cost per lead obviously shot up too. So guys, that's really how that works. It's a pretty basic funnel what we're using here. It's an ad to a landing page, to a thank you page, to ultimately, a new customer. So that's the reason why we're tracking everything. As I mentioned, this setup will work across pretty much any advertising platform. We used Facebook in this example, but these fundamentals will apply for everything else. All right, hope that helped, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Take it easy.